Miles here from Canaan Lasers again with another cool restoration project. So I had a customer bring a very old, very vintage pellet gun in, or a pellet rifle. This is a Diana Model 34, and it was left in a barn for years. The guy said that it had been sitting for about 30 years in a barn, and it's the original family, the original owners, and he wanted me to restore this thing and bring it back to life as an heirloom for his children and grandchildren and so on. This thing is in really, really rough shape. The sight post is very brittle, so excuse me. So we're gonna do our best here. As you can see, the barrel is incredibly rusted. There's a lot of pitting on it. You can kind of see it on my gloves a little bit. Yeah, overall it's in pretty sad shape. So we're going to be restoring this, and the customer opted to do the stock himself. This is a very nice solid piece of wood, and there's not too many scratches or dents in it or anything of that sort as I'm inspecting it. So the stock will definitely turn out to be incredible, and he left it up to me to refinish all the metal. So I'm going to do a disassembly of this, and I will sandblast or degrease it, sandblast it, and then we're going to Cerakote it. He just wanted a basic black, so probably going to go with Armor Black like we did on the Benelli Vinci. So stay tuned for this, guys. I'm excited to do it. This is a different kind of project. This is the first pellet rifle that's ever come through my shop here. So looks pretty easy to take apart. I've never taken one of these apart before, so we're gonna figure that out together, and just stay tuned. Thanks. All right, guys, so I'm gonna keep the camera fixed on the rifle itself as we're going, just so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So first, we're gonna start off by removing the stock. I'm going to remove these two screws for the trigger guard. So we'll just kind of stand this up. This first one is going to be directly into the stock. And so we'll just pop that out. And then take the top one off that actually goes into the receiver itself. Take the trigger guard off. And I'm going to give you guys a close-up of this so you can see just how bad the pitting is. I mean, look at that. This thing has been very neglected, but that's okay. That's why I'm here. So we're going to set these off to the side and just keep all the nuts and bolts together, screws, etc., so we don't lose track. We're going to finish popping the stock off. Take this screw out. We're just going to flip it over. Take this one out. Flip it back over so that guy hopefully falls out. And give it a little assistance here. Okay. Make sure you retain those washers, and then this should just drop right out of here. Okay. So we've got the stock out. Set that off to the side. We're just gonna set it up here. Okay, now the fun begins. So what we'll do first is, it looks like we have a pin here, and we're gonna pop this lever off. So looks like there's a C-clip down in there. I wonder if we can give it a gentle tap and see if it'll free itself. Let's see. Okay, that guy's kind of in there. So let's see if we can. Oh, this thing's stiff. Here we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that's loose. Let's do this here. Let's flip it over, and then let's take this screw out. Saying surprisingly, with how rusted this thing is, it's coming apart very, easy, but I don't want to jinx myself just yet. So we got this screw and this little retainer right here that came out, so we're just going to put those together. Or actually, I'm just going to set them here because there is a bushing inside of here. So we'll take our other punch, just tap that out. Okay, so there's that guy. Set him off to the side because undoubtedly there's going to be washers in here, I assume. Yep, one of them just fell. Oh, fantastic. Okay. So let's take this other one off, or on the top here. Okay, and when you do this, guys, be mindful because it does have a lip. So the lip is going to face the inside on each opposing side. So we're just going to throw this little assembly here back together, keep it all together so we don't lose track. And all the nuts and bolts, I will Cerakote those also. I'm just doing this to keep track of them right now. So let's see here. Alright guys, it looks like I'm going to have to pop this pin out off camera because there is a C-clip in there. So I don't know if you can see it. No, probably not, but I'll show it to you. Alright guys, welcome back. So I had to fidget with this thing a little bit, but as you can see, we got the this lever off, and this was the retaining pin, okay? And then this was the clip that was holding it in. So try to give you, here, let me put it in my pliers so you can see it better. So this little guy right here, that's what was holding all of that together. So be very mindful when you pull this out, because if you lose it, you're gonna have a bad day. So with that said, we're gonna start disassembling the receiver end of it itself. So we've got it all stripped down pretty good. I need to remove the trigger assembly, this top plate, and this spring, and whatever else comes out. So we have these 2 pins right here that we're going to punch out, and we'll see what comes up. So that one came out almost entirely too easy. So let's see what this one does. Just give it a little love tap with the hammer, and it looks like this might be under spring tension. So I'm going to try to run a punch through this, just so I'm going to get a smaller punch and just kind of seat it in here and really hope that nothing pops out on me. There we go. Yeah, this guy is really in here. Maybe we can get it like this. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely under some tension. So I'm gonna place this, and I'm just gonna put pressure down on here to keep anything from popping out. Probably just gonna use my block of wood. I'm just gonna do this beside the camera here. Okay, there we go. Try to keep this all together. Okay guys, so I was right. This is under spring tension. When I popped that pin, this whole trigger assembly just kind of wanted to move itself forward, but it wasn't too bad. It was just under a little bit of preload. So pop your spring out. For sitting as long as it did, this is actually in pretty decent looking shape. So set this off to the side, and then let's see what else we got here. So I'm going to start by trying to remove this assembly or this rail. Oh yeah, that's in there. Okay. So take this little screw off, and then let's see if I can get a different Phillips head and make it act as like an impact type deal here. So let's see. Okay, yeah, those are going to want to strip. So without running the risk of stripping these, I may have to cheat a little bit and see what's inside of here. Yeah, those are just some screws. We might be able to get away with leaving this guy on here for Cerakote. It'll solely depend on how it gasses out. But I do not like that. So I'm gonna cut off camera again here briefly and kind of take a deeper dive into this and see how I can get it off without stripping the heads on these screws. I'll probably use some CRC freeze off. That stuff is awesome, and I'll spray it down inside of here so it can penetrate the threads and hopefully break that loose. So stay tuned, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna put the receiver barrel aside for a second and work on getting the barrel itself completely stripped. So I've already removed the front sight and did this off camera. It's easy. You just have a screw here you pop out and it sits on here, and it's kind of recessed in these little channels, and then ordinarily it would just slide off, but in this case, since it's so oxidated and or rusted, I had to take my my gunsmithing hammer and just kind of give it a little persuasion. So we're going to set this off to the side, and we're going to work on the rear sight. So it looks like we just popped this screw off here. Yay for small miracles, guys. This one came off easy too. So just set that aside for a second. And let's see. There's another little screw. So we're gonna pop this little retaining clip off right here. Just take a flathead, be very careful or mindful. Just give it a little persuasion there. And do not lose these parts. It is a very bad day when you do so. And so you can see how tiny that little guy is. That one thing right there could cause a world of nightmares. So we're just going to set him to the side, pop the washer off, set him to the side, and then we're going to unscrew the adjuster. And I'm just going to keep pressure on this in case it's under spring tension. And it looks like, yes, it is under spring tension. So, ooh, and that's in there. So I wonder if I can get lucky and sneak a screwdriver down inside of here to free this. So I don't know if you guys can see down in here, but there's a little flathead screwdriver, or a little flathead screw right there. So let's tempt fate a little bit here, and maybe not. So hold on. I'm gonna pop this one back in because I am gonna apply some pressure to this to see if I can pop this guy out, and I don't want it walking all over the place. and it doesn't appear to want to play ball with me too well. So maybe we can just give it a little tap. Oh, there's another washer under there. Didn't even see that. So put that one right there. Let's see. Okay, so this is a left-handed thread, or I'm sorry, a right-handed thread. So this one is lefty tighty, righty loosey. You can see that. Sorry if I missed the camera a bit there, guys. I was just kind of trying to figure this thing out a little bit. So we'll back him all the way out. There you have it. So keep those parts together. Carefully remove this because it is under spring tension. Set these parts right here off to the side in the clicker, and then there's your spring. Now we can remove the rest of it. Okay. Set this down. And there we go. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward, just, you know, a little bit of critical thinking skills, and you'll be squared away. So we're just gonna kind of keep this little assembly off to the side, all contained to itself, so we know what is what. And one thing that I am gonna have to relay to the customer is this rear sight was very brittle, and it's just kind of snapped off when we started taking it apart. So I'm going to follow up with them on this. These things do happen on old restores. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. So with that said, we have a little ball bearing in here. Let's see if we can pop this guy out. And that guy's pretty stuck in there. So I'm gonna go off camera with this and see what I can do about getting this ball out. I'll come back and I'll let you guys know what I find. All right, guys, welcome back. So as you can see, I did quite a bit off camera here. Regarding this guy, this rail, I spoke to the customer and told him these guys just won't come out without damaging them. And he wants to keep it original, so he just said, hey, go ahead and Cerakote over it, see what it does. So I'm hoping that when I gas this out, no oil or anything will seep through here because I degreased it for so long. And as you can see, I mean, this was all covered in pits and rust and the whole 9 yards. And I mean, man, these things came clean. It always amazes me at what you can do with this stuff. So here's this guy, and then here's the barrel. You can see, I mean, there's still like some pits in it, and black is a very forgiving color, so I'm hoping that it masks some of this, but we'll see. And then as far as this ball goes, it's actually staked in there. So what I did is I just packed some sculpting clay, some high temp sculpting clay down in there. So that way we can Cerakote over it, and then I'll hit this with acetone, shine it up a bit, and we'll be good to go. So there's those parts, and then I'll move the camera and kind of give you a close-up. Here are all the other parts that we're going to be Cerakoting. All this stuff is going to be black, and it should turn out pretty sweet. So stay tuned, and from here we're going to gas these out in the oven at 300 for 1 hour. all of these parts are metal, so that's what we're gonna do. And then we'll check this guy out, see if any residual oil or anything is hiding out in there, and fingers crossed that it's not, and this will work. So stay tuned, guys. I'll be back. All right, guys, so we're back in the spray booth now. Forgive the noise, I have my fans running. So we got lucky. When degreasing this stuff and sandblasting and gassing it out, we didn't really have much oil or any oil seep out. So we got really lucky there, and then all the other parts are prepped and ready to go, as you can see. So we're gonna switch back over to the spray booth, and we're gonna start getting to work on this. But before I do that, we made a quick change on the color. We're using Glacier Black C7600 on this. This stuff is air cured. It cures similar to what like an Armor Black looks like once it's cured. So when I spray it, it'll go on very glossy, but it dries to a matte finish. This is one of my favorite colors to use. It's very versatile. It holds up really well under heat. It has excellent corrosion resistance properties, UV stability, etc. So ran this by the customer. He's on board with it because you know, anything that I do or suggest that might change, I always get approval from the client before I make the change, so that way, you know, they're getting exactly what they want. All right, guys, so we're back in the spray booth, and what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna start off by Cerakoting all the small parts first, just so it's all done, and then we only have 3 of the bigger pieces left. So these guys can get started curing, and yeah, so here we go. I've already strained the Glacier Black. You're going to use a 100 mesh strainer. With all of these smaller parts, usually what I like to do is just dial my gun down and just kind of pepper it on here and wetting the part out. I find that they're more manageable, they don't blow around, so on and so forth. So here we go. Alright guys, so I'm just briefly showing you this here so you can get an idea what I'm talking about with Glacier Black. So it's, I don't know, it's been flashing off for about 15 minutes or so. I had to clean my gun, but you can see it has more of a glossy appearance right now. And here within the next couple hours, all of that will go away and it'll be a nice matte black finish, and that's the goal. That's what we're aiming for with this. So just wanted to show you guys that, and obviously you'll see what it looks like all cured up once I go to assemble the rifle.